Hello, everyone. So, my name is a Cosmic Otaku, and we are going to be reacting to The Brick of Mormon. Now, Doctor of Insanity told me this is a good song, but I'm not going to have much to react to. And, like, again, I don't expect this to exactly be cameo slop, but, like, I do like Skybrow songs, and, just, point of fact, right? I enjoy doing the reactions. So, let us get through this. Because this is, if you can't tell, right? If you can't tell, this is about the bricks and minifigs fiasco with Reckless Ben. And yes, I am keeping up to date with the Reckless Ben thing. It's just, that entire situation has me really, really annoyed. Because it's like, I get what you're doing, my guy, and you are doing good work by bringing attention to this. And yes, there is a lot of corruption going on in the Mormon community regarding this situation. It's a thing that happens more often than people say. Angels told me this song slaps. Okay, that was really fucking good. But yeah, so it turns out that like anyone with common sense could have told you that people like co-religionists, people with the same religion, tend to prefer each other over like outsiders. It's just basic in-group preference. You can see this among even like Catholics and Protestants, where it's like, again, like Protestants oftentimes prefer other Protestants to Catholics, and Catholics prefer, Catholics to Protestants. There is that, but it's not to the same degree to everyone, right? There's definitely a higher degree of, on average, in-group preference between, for example, Mormons and, Jews and Muslims, for example, than there are, for example, the in-group preference of like Protestant, Lutherans or Methodists or, many Catholic not denominations, but you know what I mean, like Catholics. So it's like, it was just interesting to see a bunch of people start realizing, like, oh, wait, in-group preferences are multimodal, right? So, all right, let us continue. Let me make sure that this is up all the way. Yes, okay. Okay, that's fucking funny. Just Joseph Smith. Okay, that's actually really funny. Hello, Ducky McDuckington YouTube. I'm gonna have to ask you about that name, but oh my god. I like how it's the word dumb, not just like it's not scatting. There's another word for this in music that I'm not too familiar with. But it's like, yeah, it's just dumb, right?
I'm walking a thin line on a slack line, reading warning signs as a flat line. Got a claim forming a backline and a story changing by the halftime.
Okay, that was a lot already, right? So let's go back here and check it out. I'm walking a thin line on a slack line. Now, obviously, the slack line is a reference to the fact that Reckless Ben himself is a, is a slackliner. And we actually find out about this because of the scene where he gets his shoulder dislocated. Ducky McDuckington YouTube says, may I suggest a song, good sir? You may, depending on the time, because I started real late and this is just going to be a quick stream. I may or may not be able to get to it, but I can put it in the queue. I will probably be able to get to it to this stream, but we got to see how this goes, right? I can turn a 3-minute song into like a 2.5-minute rant, right? I've done it before on many occasions. All right.
Slackline, reading warning signs as a flat line.
I mean, here we got like line and line being rhymed with each other themselves, which, I mean, I don't have an issue with rhyming a word with itself on a, like, occasion, as long as it doesn't become excessive. But, yeah, so, but flatline, I guess you could say flatline and slackline are distinct enough for that to work.
Got a claim forming a backline and a story changing by the halftime.
I do like that line, in a story changing by the halftime, right? Is it like the story is not over, we're halfway through, and it keeps changing, right? Because how many times has the bricks and minifigs story actually changed, right? Oh my god. Skybrow's laziest vid. I'm told so, to be perfectly honest. But still, this is way better than anything I would be able to make so far, right? All right, hold on. Let's go forward. Got a claim form and a backline, so I mean, obviously the claim form is the demand, like the paperwork, and the back line is again the muddled lines of communication. Green gang. Okay, I'll write that down. Let me put this here. Green gang. All right, we will check. You mean 2 hours, right? Fair.
Forming a backline and a story changing by the halftime. I say I didn't do like Windu.
I say I didn't do like Windu. Okay, there's gonna be Star Wars puns in here. I can take it, right? It is the it is a Star Wars Lego collection, right? So it would make sense if there would be a pun, like American Fork Police Department, right?
If it ain't true, then I'll walk through.
Again, another Star Wars pun, and if it ain't true, I'll warp through.
Every interview got a bend to, every memory got an edit menu.
Okay, that is a funny line. Every memory got an edit menu, right? You go back and just change the way that, change your perception of events, post hoc, right? And it's like, oh yeah, we got a post-production on this shit.
R2D2 onto others.
Okay, that's a fun, okay. Sorry. It looks like I'm going to be doing this frame-by-frame thing we did with Torstwolf and Nicola and Gleeman and Pasta, right? R2D2 unto others. That's, okay. That just puts a smile on my face. That's such a fun pun.
Swearing on my Mormon mother.
Swearing on my Mormon mother.
There's no bigger layer lover, but I keep her undercover.
Undercover, hidden, right? Concealed, out of sight. I love how like this entire video is just mogging on these like corrupt officers, right? It's like, yes, I'm just gonna put you in the music video to immortalize the very obvious corruption here. Now, granted, I will say some of the corruption is almost certainly just sloth, to be perfectly honest, right? There's multiple law tubers who've looked at the video, and I knew this beforehand, but it's like, yeah, some of this is just it's a lot more difficult to actually do the paperwork stuff than when you have a suspect who's actually on the run and you can chase them down, right? Strangely enough, it actually takes more energy just to run down a suspect and tackle them to the ground than it does to go through the paperwork of a business, which, by the way, just like, again, some of this was just laziness. A lot of it, though, was absolutely malicious. Where it's like, yeah, again, in-group preferences and whatnot.
I ain't greedy, I'm protective from a certain point perspective.
Okay, so that's another very clear Star Wars reference, right? From a certain point of view kind of deal, right? God, I hate subjectivism, but fair, and relativism.
Every fact is more subjective when the shelf looks so collectible. More and more, call me shady, call me litigation crazy.
That's a good line.
Call me maybe, call me daily. Just don't call the feds Ben, maybe.
Okay, this is such a funny fucking. Hold on.
Maybe call me daily. Just don't call the feds.
Fucking. we got the camera angle to make it look to make us look up at him like he's a giant and he's rotating in the middle of space, right?
Ben, maybe.
Oh, almost to the point where he starts reclining in view, right? So here we got a play on relativity.
Got a bad feeling, that's tradition. Got a mission and a superstition. Got a witness with a contradiction. Got a lawyer, so that's permission. No castle.
Got a lawyer, so that's permission. Oh, you know what? That's it. That's not entirely wrong, right? Just the way, in fact, things play out in these things sometimes. Hold on, I want to go back to see some of these. Just don't call the feds Ben, maybe. Yeah, because like they threatened, because he threatened to. What was that one guy again? The fucking owner was like, yeah, if you call the if you actually try to take us to court, we'll say you're the one who stole the Legos. Damn it, right? Surprised he didn't make them Legos. I think he might remember when he tried to do the puppet, when he was doing the puppet stuff in NVIDIA. Fuck yeah. And he said he's never doing puppets again, so it might be a little bit too close to puppets, right? But I guess he could have done Legos in this style too.
Got a bad feeling, that's tradition.
So got a bad feeling, that's tradition. which I think refers to, and I could be wrong, the idea that this thing has been done more than once. So it's kind of like a de facto traditional way to handle these situations with this store.
Got a mission and a superstition. Got a witness with a contradiction.
Got a witness with a contradiction, which, yeah, one of the witnesses, obviously, that is like the root of the testimonial backing for Bricks and Minifigs keeps, changing their story. Also, I mean, technically Ben does it does kind of contradict himself, actually, funny enough, with the timestamps, and I don't know why the fucking timestamps in his own video don't match up with what he's saying, but it has almost something to do with like the actual camera. I don't think he's being deceptive, but and I'm not the one who initially noticed it, but when you actually go back and you look at the timestamps, it's like, who's fucking with the timestamps? Because these timestamps don't make any sense. But anyway.
Got a lawyer, so that's permission. No castle run, I simply squander.
No Kessel run, I simply squander.
I don't hide, the truth just wanders. I don't lie, I merely launder.
Oh, that's a good line, right? I don't lie, I merely launder, like fucking money laundering. Oh my god. I remember having a conversation about like Islamic money laundering back in the day, funny enough. Like how they actually do it. But don't launder your money. It's a very bad idea. You'll get caught, and the consequences for that are not fun. But yeah, there is this theory going around that, like, again, Legos are being used to like sell and like sell drugs. And I'm like, I don't know that this has anything to do with the Bricks and Minifigs thing, like, at all. I highly fucking doubt it. But what you could be doing is you could be using it to like launder money, or you could just be selling this stuff without actually, again, reimbursing the person who owns the like Lego sets. And actually that seems to be something brought up by a number of lawyers, and yeah, looking at the case. But the CoffeeZilla video, trying to figure out where all the Legos went, kind of confirmed exactly what I suspected was the case. So I guess I'll put that in the video description. But yeah, CoffeeZilla's like investigation basically vindicated my initial assumption about what was going on with a lot of this stuff.
Your questions, non-responder. Jedi.
Okay, first responder to non-responder. That's funny.
Trick minor fit, and certain facts have gone missing, certain boxes gone fishing, certain cameras extra snitching.
Okay, I like that line. That line just reminds me of like Bruce Rivers. He's going to react to all the self-snitching, right? And yeah, when you have like CCTV cameras and then you decide to do something blatantly stupid, and it gets caught on the CCTV camera, I was like, yeah, it's kind of self-snitching. Kura says, and by the way, hello, Kura. Oh, a quickie stream. Sure, I'm down. Right? I might react to like 2 or 3 songs, but these don't seem to be all that like in depth, so they're going to be relatively quick. Kionado says Lego should be easier than puppets, but I understand his choice in being lazy. June is a lazy month. Everyone is fatigued. I mean, that's entirely fair, right? The reason, again, I released my anti-Nazi song in June, and the reason why it's 15 minutes is I was too lazy to cut it down.
Obi-Wan, my explanation, master.
Obi-Wan, my explanation. Fucking hell, mate.
Reinterpretation, every claim of variation on the theme of compensation. They say, Josh, return the Lego.
Okay, I like this little part right here where we go from like just, again, the floating in the void, gently warmed by the light of the sun, surrounded by these Legos in what looks to be some kind of like solar cloud.
On the theme of compensation, they say,
Josh, return the Lego. I just fucking love the way that they animated this.
Say why so black and white, though life's a spectrum. Let the force go finders keepers. That's my life code. A faithful millennium falconist, brick acquisition specialist, plastic preservation archivist, part-time amateur escapologist.
Part-time amateur escapologist. That's a fucking funny description. Oh my god. Okay. Kura says, by the way, I did put the English version of my new song lyrics in the CC, had to manually input them, lol. Yeah. Oh my god. So for the Oshi song that I sent you originally, right? That's already up. I could not for the life of me figure out how to change the language of the song from, or at least the captions for the song, from English to Russian. So now if you hit the caption button, it will automatically try to give you the English translation of the lyrics instead of the actual Russian lyrics. So just funny thing. Sometimes YouTube escapes me.
Folks pray for revelation, I pray for shelf space allocation.
That's funny. Some folks pay for revelation. Obviously, talking about, like, again, the Mormon tradition of living prophets, right? I pray for shelf space allocation, right? Complete the contract, you fucks, right?
Allocation, searching for divine confirmation for collected grade valuation.
Searching for divine okay. Hold on. So, searching for divine confirmation, which also is kind of funny because confirmation is also a rite, but it's not a Mormon rite, but it is a religious rite. So, searching for divine confirmation through collector grade valuation. Oh my god, I like that pun.
Valuation, the force awoke inside my heart, near the vintage Lego part. Some call that the darkest start, I call that a brand new start. I say, look, let's be objective, the collection look neglected.
Oh, that's an interesting dichotomy. Hold on, because earlier it was subjective, right? And now,
Brand new start, I say, look, let's be objective.
look, let's be objective. Which, by the way, again, quotation marks, because I think this is a direct quote from one of these people, right? But yeah, it's interesting how, like, everything is subjective right up until this point where it's like, oh yes, let's be objective, right? And it's like, okay, now we're switching gears, right? Why are we switching gears? Oh, because it's actually beneficial for you in this particular case, but it might not be beneficial for it. It's kind of self-serving. It's like when it's okay to not be objective is, and it's subjective is because it's like it benefits me that it's subjective. But when it becomes beneficial for it to be objective, then we can move to objectivity, except oftentimes it's not really being objective. It's just appending the name objective to something, that's kind of fucking ridiculous.
The collection looked neglected, I was simply redirected by a higher force directed.
I was simply redirected by a higher force directed. Oh my god. This is I'm pretty sure that's literally a reference to fucking how he gets pushed and pulled through, again, literally redirected by, again, the corporation, then the franchise, then the fucking police agency, and then the fucking court, all pushing him in different ways, right? Oh my god. Kuro says, yeah, the beauty of the dichotomy of that line switch is just chef's kiss. I agree. Also, by the way, there's a thing here that's actually really fun, and I'm gonna link this in the video as well because I plan to react to this video. Mormons are actually atheists. This is actually I would disagree with. I think that they are polytheists, but I understand where the atheist accusation comes from, right? And that comes from just the way that metaphysics actually works in like Mormonism. Specifically the way that, again, godhood, the law, and the world interact with each other, right? So, but that'll be a time for another thing. So the law is effectively the force in this case, right? Is a higher force directive.
Walking a thin line on a slack line, every headline turns to backfire.
Every headline turns to backfire. Yeah, this company has done, and every single time it's tried to do something, it has shot itself in the foot for the most part. Every fact check fuels the tire fire. Yeah, because it turns out when you're being manipulative and deceptive and everything is already recorded, which, by the way, is why they got that TRO in place, right? The reason the TRO for Ben's new video is because it was causing real substantial damage to the business. Partly because, again, he was compiling a history of bad business practice on the part of the company, and the TRO is placed temporary. That's what the T stands for. It's a temporary restraining order, not a permanent one. So he can literally wait this out and he'll eventually get the RO released. But again, that's why they did the TRO. You know, keep that from coming up.
Fact check fuels the tire fire. Every witness suddenly retires. Got more spins than a lightsaber. Every month the tale gets stranger.
Every month the tale gets stranger. Yeah, I guarantee you that's what the guys almost certainly were thinking about as they were like researching this topic and trying to get these Legos back, right? Every statement shape changes later. Again, the truth is whatever I want it to be, right? Hello, Captain Rudy. How are you doing today?
Statement shape changes later, like a legally distinct change in vapor.
Like a legally distinct change in vapor. Well, there's a jab at copyright, right?
Swearing on my Mormon mother, blaming one thing then another.
I like that line, swearing on my Mormon mother. I don't know what it is. I just find that line charming. Oh my god.
Every brother backs a brother till someone calls an undercover.
And yeah, again, every brother backs a brother. Hold on. Captain Rudy says, to be honest, could be better, but I'm managing. We've all been there, man. We've all been there. It's I saw what you posted on your channel. It's I know it's not easy, but you know, we got to do what we got to do, right? Have you been keeping up with the whole Lego snafu? I have, actually. And I called Ben getting charged with criminal conduct basically on the first video, to be perfectly honest. Because it was just really obvious. It's like, you're walking a really fine line in like the harassment detail. And this is going to backfire. And it did backfire on him. But it's very obvious, again, there's a lot of corruption with the police force. And almost certainly the judge who signed off for the no bail is almost certainly also probably needs to be investigated. It's kind of interesting how, like, Legos, of all things, is corroding the public trust in the Mormon institutions, of all fucking things, right? Also, where have you been? You said you were going to stream on Sunday and it's Thursday. I was fucking tired because there's something in the air and I don't know what it is, but like, just been fucking exhausted. I'm actually tired right now. It's just, I was like, fuck it. It's like I said I was going to be on Sunday and it's Thursday. I have to stream today, even if it's short, right? So, yes, I am aware. Although, to be fair, I was a little busy. I did release a song yesterday.
I would never stoop to theft. I merely shifted assets left you.
I would never stoop to theft. I merely shifted assets left. Okay, that's a really fucking great line. Oh my god. That's literally how money laundering works, by the way. Tearing down the Mormon institution brick by brick. Oh my god, I had a whole thing with actually, like conversation about just this in general. It's like, it's so funny how brick by brick actually just works, whether you're trying to tear something down or build something up, right? And the question is, how do you build a catalog of art? Brick by brick, brick by brick. It's like, if I want to tear down this institution of anti-racism because it's truly racist, how do I do that? Brick by brick. It just works, right? It just works so fucking well. I could see brick by brick, like, oh my ego, right? I have also made that exact joke. Oh my god. But I would be surprised if brick by brick didn't eventually get co-opted for like other things as well. So let's see.
My morals are bereft. Let's leave the matter unaddressed. Like
You say my morals are bereft. Let's leave the matter unaddressed. So again, you're accusing of like, again, immoral behavior, of like, again, sinful behavior in the Mormon case, right? And like, how do we deal with it? Let's leave the matter unaddressed. We're not going to actually deal with the bad, behavior here. We're just going to not deal with you at all. And this goes back to, again, this reminds me of like the just not receiving the court summons, the real legal document that was being delivered. Officer literally went to deliver the court summons. He said, I don't want it. Comes back, oh, he doesn't want this. It doesn't fucking matter if he wants it. He's being served a court, he's being summoned paperwork by the court. It doesn't matter if he fucking wants it, right? Oh my god.
Joseph Smith, you know, call the popo on this shaggy bro. Reckless Ben, do not pass go, send you straight to Mexico. The force.
I love that. I actually really like that line. Reckless Ben, do not pass go, send you straight to Mexico. I fucking love that line.
Is strong with my collection. The source is wrong on inspection. Foreign forces, divine protection, stacking bricks of misdirection. Walking a thin line on a slack line. My tiny planet starshine, castle waiting in.
My tiny planet starshine. That's fucking funny. Captain Rudy says, I hope these cops step on a Lego. I'll serve them these nuts. Right, fair enough, right? Oh my god. I just noticed the fucking underbelly. The literal underbelly, right? Cat.
Walking a thin line on a slack line. My tiny planet starshine, castle waiting in the skyline. Fly my falcon through the divine.
Again, that actually is just a really just nice fucking just series of lines. My tiny planet starshine, obviously referring to the whole Mormon idea of exaltation, where exaltation is like their take on again, man being made to participate in the divine nature, but in their case it's like, no, we obtain not just the grace, the uncreated grace of God, or not just the energies of God through God's infusing of his nature into us, but rather, no, we become the same species as God because we were always secretly the same species as God. And therefore, it is within the nature of man to become divine. It's not a gift from outside of human nature. So, my tiny planet, because again, like the idea that like every man will, like, every man who has a particular rank in the celestial hierarchy will be gifted his own planet to inhabit. And maybe their own universe. I'm just saying, it's like Jesus is apparently, according to the Mormon theology, the, what would you say, what was it? Oh yeah, like he is basically a creature. He is a creation of God the Father, and it's kind of interesting because the Mormon scriptures also say that Jesus is the creator of the universe. So it's not just a previous planet thing. That would indicate a previous planet in a previous universe. So just pointing that out there. Let's see. Oh my God, you're not wrong about that. So Captain Rudy watched 10 consecutive streams and sparked the watch streak. Thank you for your thank you for your attention, Rudy. Like I'm glad I'm providing something that is like keeping you interested. Captain Rudy says, "Dude in the brown shirt looks like Caleb Hammer." Yeah, fair enough. If I'm the same species as God, does that make me a god? Not yet, because again, the whole thing with being a god in Mormonism is your relationship to the law, right? Because again, the law is a pre-divine natural principle and energy, but that's something we could probably cover when we get to the naturalism of Mormonism when we get there. Again, castle waiting in the skyline, because again, it's like you're going to become a god of your own world, possibly your own universe, and you're going to be, again, have your own castle, your own throne waiting in the skyline. And fly my falcon through the divine, right? Again, pass through, through, and out the divine to become a god in yourself, right? Kill says, aren't artists and writers gods? Not really, but we do fill a similar function in an analogic sense, right? Not in an essential sense, but in an analogic sense, we do create our own worlds, right? So that is an act of creation and formation, both of which are processes, although to be fair, in God, they are one process, but in one act. But, in human beings, since we live in a temporally and spatially extended state, those are separate functions, and we do act in emulation of God when we do create in the arts, right? So let's see. Captain Rudy says, what do you call a kinky priest? Father in the streets, daddy in the sheets? God damn it, Rudy. Okay, so I was right. So if the kingdom's everlasting, again, the kingdom will never die, and the celestial world is vasting. So vasting in this case meaning expanding, right? So and this is definitely an interesting thing with like the Mormon multiverse, is that the Mormon multiverse, unlike the Hindu multiverse, is always exponentially growing, right? Because like in the Hindu tradition, there is this uncountable number of universes that don't actually like they come into being and then they go out of being and then they are recreated and then destroyed, recreated and then destroyed cyclically forever, right? So it does technically expand a number of universes in like time, but not in space. So it's an interesting thing there, interesting difference.
Why you still busy asking where I keep those boxes basking? Never let go, never let go. That's the motto, that's the tempo. If the force says no, then maybe. If it's a stop, then move it slowly.
Oh my god, it's literally a play on the whole from a certain point of view thing. Oh my god. From a certain point of view.
R2D2 unto others, swearing on my Mormon mother. There's no bigger layer lover, but I keep her undercover.
In loving memory of Joseph Smith. What a fucking cheeky bastard. Oh my god. Oh my god, that's actually so funny. So, yeah, I mean, I love that song. I could go a second listen, right? There's not really much for us to dissect in here. I mean, things like cinematography, maybe, but, like, again, I'm not a cinematographer, so, like, there's probably someone else who can do that better. Interestingly enough, I find it funny that I'm being advised Joseph Smith, who's that, right? Founder of Mormonism, right? But, it's funny Philip Chan is being advertised at the very end of this video, right? Oh my god. You were reacting to the same video I just reacted to. Oh my god. Alright, let's give a second go through. I will say though that this whole, again, floating in the void with the Legos around them and the star in the background, it's almost like in like a state of ambiguity, right? Because you don't know what's going on with the star. It could just be shining, or it could be, again, considering all the dust around it, it could have just gone supernova earlier, right? So this is, again, in this case, brick by brick, the foundation is fallen, or it could be a star coming into being, again, because stars that, you know, are soon to be born or are early in their life have a lot of dust around them too. That's where we get the protoplanetary disks and whatnot. But, you know, so again, a state of either unbecoming or soon to be becoming, right? So whether or not this is a act of destruction or, you know, creation or even recreation is up for debate here. Edo-sen says the chosen one, right? Captain Rudy says Brandon and Josh are those two brain cells that everyone says are fighting for third place. I don't disagree with you.
I'm walking a thin line on a slack line, reading warning signs as a flat line. Got a claim forming a backline and a story changing by the halftime.
Reading warning signs is a flat line. That's actually a really nice line, because a flat line is your heart has stopped, right? So it's a threat of imminent death. So reading warning signs as flat lines is to read warning signs as, like, again, existential threats, right? So kind of why the company freaked out when they actually started talking about potentially genuinely taking this stuff to court, because any lawyer who looks at these consignment paperwork is probably gonna say, is like, nah, this is not a negotiable thing. And this also is one of the reasons why I've started buying into the whole Mormon Mafia thing with this, because yeah, in a small town where it's like everyone again is Mormon for the most part, everyone can look after each other. But as soon as it starts getting outside of the small town and it might become a federal issue, people start getting a little antsy about it because again, it's kind of hard to rig the federal system when you're again a group that doesn't have all that much structural power or control. Captain Woody says, I found out yesterday that Brandon still owns the BAM store in Eugene, Oregon, which means BAM saying that they cut all ties with both Brandon and Josh is a lie. Interesting. Well, I mean, there's a CoffeeZilla video where he actually where CoffeeZilla found where most of the Legos went. And, long story short, it does look like it is slightly more complicated than people may have initially thought. But bricks and minifigs are still objectively in the wrong. Oh, excuse me. It's just there might have also been accounting problems from before the acquisition, which is up in the air and not proven, but it did come about even by the admission of the previous store owner.
Like window. If it ain't true, then I walk through every interview, got a bend to every memory, got an edit menu, R2D2 onto others.
Swearing on my Mormon mother.
There's no bigger layer lover, but I keep her
Undercover. I'm gonna be honest. I'm just vibing to this song. This song is just like activates something like. It just like activates a deep part of my brainstem. Captain says, yeah, CoffeeZilla video was insane. I actually really enjoyed it. It was like, oh damn, someone's actually going through the fucking paperwork in the inventory. And they're actually looking at like, again, actual like business statements, like actual paperwork. Someone's actually trying to solve the issue, right?
From a certain point perspective, every fact is more subjective. When the shelf looks so collectible, more and more, call me shady, call me litigation crazy. Call me maybe, call me Bailey, just don't call the feds Ben, maybe.
Yeah, again, like this shot is kind of interesting. Because again, like originally he starts again almost like a giant, framed to be like a giant, right? Because again, imposing figure, like backed by the light. And what happens as the video goes on? Look at the way he turns. He's almost being laid down to sleep, and as he's being laid down to sleep, the light itself disappeared. You can see what I'm saying here, right?
Feeling that's tradition, got a mission and a superstition, got a witness with a contradiction, got a lawyer so that's permission. No castle run, I simply squander. I don't hide, the truth just wanders. I don't lie, I merely launder your questions, non-responder. Jedi mind trick, minor fib, and certain facts have gone missing.
Jedi mind trick, minor fib. Hold on, that's a line I missed the first time.
Non-responder, Jedi mind trick.
Jedi mind trick, minor fibbed. So again, casting a spell through words that are untrue, but minor fibbing, right? You use that slight untruth to again poison the well. God Rudy says, as I lay me down to sleep, I pray the Lord my soul to keep. Right? 'Tis a good prayer.
Minor fib and certain facts have gone missing, certain boxes gone fishing, certain cameras extra snitching. Obi-Wan my explanation, mastery interpretation, every claim of variation on the theme of compensation. They say
Josh, return the Lego.
I say why so black and white though life's a spectrum, let the force flow, finders keepers, that's my life code.
Oh my god, why so black and white though? Again, only a Sith deals in absolutes. The accusation is nested within it.
The faithful Millennium Falconist, brick acquisition specialist.
Brick acquisition specialist is such an actual fucking objectively correct definition of like what the company is advertised as being. Seems fitting, right? Oh my god.
Plastic preservation archivist, part-time amateur escapologist. Some folks pray for revelation.
Oh, and you know what? I just realized. I don't know if this is my brain like making connections with this, not. But just looking at the way that these people are framed, a lot of these people almost look like they're being thrown from an explosion. right? Like these, like this is blown up in their face kind of deal, right?
Pray for shelf space allocation, searching for divine confirmation for collected grade valuation.
Again, that collector grade valuation, because here we're talking about the disputation of how much these Legos actually cost. Like, it's like, hey, do we really owe you do we really owe you $200,000, or is it just $100,000? And even over that $100,000, how much are you actually entitled to? Because again, like you don't get the full cost of the thing that we're selling. We get a commission about this too. So in order to figure this out, we'd have to figure out how much of the commission would have gone to us, and then we pay you back the remainder. Although, to be fair, they should probably be paid damages for the fact that, like, again, some of the stunts they pulled. Or at least for bricks and minifigs is the one I'm talking about, right? Explosion would explain the fitting, the Legos, floating Legos. I agree. But because then it's like because obviously they're moving towards the explosion in these images, right? But there's also, again, the light could be reframed as like a young sun in a protoplanetary disk before it again casts off the dust, or as a star about to go supernova and therefore again casts off the dust. So like there's two explosive births, like not births, two explosive moments astronomically that could be associated with this. Let's see. Kional says it kinda did. Captain Rudy said Ember Paradox theorized that they gave Brian a lower appraisal value so that they could sell them at full price and pocket the difference. Honestly, that makes sense. That makes sense to me. I haven't seen Ember Paradox talk about it. I will have to download her video so I could watch that particular analysis at work.
Allocation, searching for divine confirmation for collected grade valuation. The force awoke inside my heart near the vintage Lego part. Some call that the darkest start. I call that a brand new start. I say, look, let's be objective. The collection looked neglected. I was simply redirected by a higher force directive. Walking a thin line on a slack line. Every headline turns to backfire. Every fact check fuels the tire fire. Every witness suddenly retires. Got more spins than a lightsaber.
Every witness suddenly retires. Oh my god. Okay, yeah. This kind of reminds me again of the whole yes, we all wanted to investigate this company, but then everyone's like, nope, we got to back out because of the threat of lawsuits, right?
Every month.
In fact, actually, it kind of reminds me again like slap suits. They could have definitely, because the state that they're in, if I remember correctly, actually has anti-slap protections.
The tale gets stranger. Every statement shape changes later, like a legally distinct changeling vapor. Swearing I'm a Mormon mother, blaming one thing then another. Every brother backs a brother till someone calls an undercover.
So that line is so funny again, because like till someone calls an undercover. Because it's like, oh yeah, every brother backs a brother. Because again, it's like we all got each other's back, and then someone undercover comes in, and the mask comes down, and the whole thing gets undone.
I would never stoop to theft. A merely shifted assets left. You say my morals are bereft. Let's leave the matter unaddressed, like Joseph Smith. You know. Call the popo on this shaggy bro. Reckless Ben, do not pass go. Send you straight to Mexico. The force is strong with my collection. The source is wrong on inspection. Foreign forces, divine protection, stacking bricks of misdirection.
So the source is wrong upon inspection. Interesting. Is that the claim that again the people saying, like the company BAM Bricks and Minifigs saying like, oh yeah, the people giving you these accounts, they're actually untrustworthy, right? That's how I interpret that line. I don't know if I'm correct or off base there. And again, walking a thin line is obviously like, again, we do things differently here, right? The officer said menacingly to Ben, right?
Castle waiting in the skyline, fly my falcon through the divine. The kingdom's everlasting. Ooh.
Not intended in the song, but it is kind of funny that like the Falcon actually was considered divine at one point, right? So the Millennium Falcon You know, fly my falcon through the divine, right?
And celestial worlds of fasting. Ooh, why you still busy asking where I keep those boxes basking? Never let go, never let go. That's the motto, that's the tempo. If the force says no, then maybe. If it's a stop, then move it slowly. R2D2 unto others, swearing on my Mormon mother. There's no bigger layer lover, but I keep her undercover.
I think this is actually one of the longer Skybrow songs. Nope, never mind. I was thinking of something else then, but I thought there was like a 6-minute song somewhere. In loving memory of Joseph Smith. what a fucking cheeky bastard, right? Oh my god. I will say though, this particular song, I don't know what it is. This particular song actually makes me really want to write a song with a similar feeling to it, but about something totally different, right? Like listening to it, I was like, damn. I could really make cameo slop to this, right? Let's be fair, we all like cameo slop, and I'm like, I enjoy cameo slop, and not everything needs to be cameo slop, but I never make cameo slop, so so let's just use that as an excuse, right? I never fucking make cameo slop, so give me a break about making it, right? But especially considering how many people in the community's names can be used as puns, right? Oh my god. So that was again Brick of Mormon, which the Brick of Mormon, which fucking funny name, by the way, was an absolute bop. I love this song. I would have actually really liked this song even if it was not actually related to anything in again recent time, just because I like the song, right? Objectively, even without context, it's still a good song. But yeah. So, that'll be it for right now. Y'all have a lovely day, and I will see y'all in the next video. Bye.